Evening all. Right, let's have a look at the shotgun. Now this is my new weapon du jour. This is basically going to be one that we use a lot, I think. And by we, I mean me. Basically, what we're going to do is talk about this gun. Now, again, the shotgun has always been something that I think is a great weapon. I think it's an understated weapon. I think it takes quite a bit of skill to use it, and I think you're putting your balls on the line every time you use it as well, which is a foreign concept to a lot of people in this kind of game, because a lot of people just want to run the best suit, the best gun, and very little risk, so they don't want to die too much. Whereas I say bollocks to that. I think the fun of these games is literally putting yourself out there and seeing how well you can do, and feeling that oh shit moment. There are players in this game who never have felt that oh shit moment of pure terror when you realise you're in a firefight that could go either way. A lot of players, I think, just play incredibly safe with AR and whatever, and they just kind of they die, yeah, but they don't really mix it up. And I think that's certainly what I'm trying to do with this fit here. So let's talk about the shotgun. Now, the shotgun is one of these guns that I think any level is pretty good. There's two types. There's your standard shotgun, then there's your breach. And as breach is familiar to most of you, I imagine, breach is usually very high damage, low rate of fire. Now with the shotgun, the breach shotguns are 2 shots, then you need to reload, but they're quite high powered shots. So basically think of it as a double barrel rifle. Now I don't particularly favour them. I think I prefer the ones where you have to basically get your 8 shots, and then you've got to dance. You've got to go toe to toe. Now the thing is, with the shotgun, I would say versus a militia suit, you could one-shot them. Okay, it's unlikely though. With most people, you need 2 shots. As I said that, I then one-shot someone. So go figure. But basically, it depends. If they've got quite a few hit points, then the chances are, unless you get a headshot, you're going to need at least 2 shots. So here we go, 1 and then 2. So there we go. So pretty much that's where I think the shotgun has a certain weakness, because usually you do need the 2 shots to kill anything. In these days of proto and at least advanced, I think there's very few people who play without a sufficient hit point buffer. So basically you're going to have to always combat those hit points. Now the way to do that is obviously to have better shotguns, but hold on, whoa there, because I actually think that that's the wrong thing to do. I would say it's better to have a better tank and have a shotgun that you can maybe kill something in 2 or 3 shots than it is to run the Devol, which is the top of the range shotgun, or even the ones above that. But Devol is kind of like the pimp daddy shotgun, then run a lesser fit. Now I think personally, and this is just my experience here, that I last longer and I do better when I use lower level shotguns. So even though is it the K5, I forget completely, but the K5 or the HK4M or whatever it is I'm using here, because this is effectively it's not an Orm gun, but it's one of these ones you get now, because basically we get a lot of people kind of subscribing to Dust through this channel, which is awesome. Thank you so much if you've done that, by the way, because it gives me a supply of these HKM shotguns. So every one of these shots is for you guys. But seriously, they are actually, because there is, by getting a supply of these guns, my fit works pretty well. Otherwise, I have to kind of use the CRG or maybe the one just below that. Now, weirdly enough, the militia shotgun's pretty good. Now, I actually do mean that. The militia AR or the militia, I don't know, whatever, are not great. Whereas the militia forge gun, the militia shotgun particularly, are actually competent, capable guns. So don't even be afraid to use one of them. The difference really is just based upon how accurate you are. Now, wasn't that funny? Let's get that guy in orbit. So yeah, I think shotgunning certainly is something to look at. What I would generally run, and again, this is the beauty of running scout suits, because there's no real need to change the suit fit either, because this is just 3 complex extenders, 2 complex kinetic catalyzers, and a partridge in a pear tree, and it works very well because it gives you speed, it gives you shield. The shield isn't great, but it's certainly better than nothing, let's say. I would probably never run a shotgun on any other suit, other than maybe I'm going to go Caldari Assault. And I think that thing can do maybe just under 10 meters a second. So that could then have a shield of, say, 500. So, yeah, I'm looking at that. I think that could well be a way of the future. But As it stands at the moment, I would say the scout suit's a good home for the shotgun. Yeah, you can always do better, but I think sometimes the speed does make a bit of a difference. The thing with the shotgun as well, and this is a big secret, it's a big tip coming up, you might want to pay attention to this. When you play shotgun, you have to basically draw a line where you need the shotgun scope to be. Now, I am not showing a good example of that because I'm running with the shotgun down and my kind of, my angle of my screen is down, and that's because I haven't done it at the moment. I'm getting back into shotgunning. But what you generally need to do is you need to know roughly where the head is. So what you do is you kind of elevate until the horizon is, you're moving around until your cursor is roughly where the head is as you come around the corner. If you master that, you will kill so much with the shotgun. It's not that hard to do. You just need to be able to say, well, I know roughly as I run around the corner that that's the chest. And that's currently where I'm aiming, and that's bad. You need to aim for the head. So I would just say, if you're going to use the shotgun, just get very used. I hope you understood what I mean. Just get very used to that targeting reticule always being in line on the same horizontal plane as where the head roughly would be of your enemy, and you will just reap the benefits. I think the shotgun as a weapon, I think just generally is understated. I think if I hear just one person tell me that the shotgun is OP, I'm literally going to scream and jump out my window, because it isn't. It really does need a buff. The controls, I think they're alright. I certainly wasn't having any trouble today, but what I would notice, and what I'm trying to I'll do a little snippet of, is sometimes hits don't register. Okay, so that's obviously a very bad bug that needs fixing right now, because you'll fire maybe 3 shots in a row as quick as you can, and what you'll find is that only 2 of them are hitting or registering. What also happens as well is that you'll be firing, so you'll be literally pressing the fire button 1, 2, 3, and then as you go for your 3rd shot, the gun doesn't fire. So there's something not quite right there as well. And this isn't me not squeezing the trigger enough because I'm using a mouse. It's the simple fact that the shotgun actually just doesn't fire. Now I thought this could be like the Flaylock, where it does fire, but the hand model doesn't register the shot leaving the gun, if that makes sense. The animation isn't present. Well, I'm afraid to say it's not the case, so just be aware of that, because that can cause you to die. It actually did a few times yesterday, where you'd run around a corner, you'd shoot some dude, then they'd stop, and you'd have the ultimate kill shot, and you'd go to press fire, and it wouldn't do anything, so you have to quickly then fire again, and in that split second, they've completely moved out of the way. And yes, I had ammo in the gun before you say it. So, minor things, minor frivolities, not big deals, it's frustrating to a degree, but I think it happens seldom, and I think it's not enough to really get ragey and spurgy about. It's a pretty good gun. Now, what I would also say, if you're going to use shotgun, is maybe get very used to, I think, almost the gun leading your direction of travel. Now, this is going to take a bit to explain. When I run around, obviously I'm pretty fast. You can see what I'm always trying to do is keep the shotgun reticule, kind of facing the opponent, if that makes sense. You see, it's not easy to do all the time. So you see, with the Flaylock, you don't do this. With the Flaylock, you actually would aim at the ground. But whereas what I'm trying to do here is always keep the reticule obviously on him. Obviously, really, but more so with the shotgun, because it's that split-second hand-eye coordination that will make the difference of dying or not. And I think what a lot of people do is they try and swing the gun around to maybe hit something, or they miss completely. But if you can master that as well, I think you'll be doing well, because again, I have trouble with it still. It's something that as I run around the corner, see there, I'm trying to swing the gun into him, I'm trying to sort of move left and right, and I'm moving my mouse around, and that just to help with the direction of travel. So it's not the easiest thing to kind of get right. Anyway, so in summary, I would say the shotgun is a particularly good weapon now. I think there's, again, interestingly enough, when you look at maybe what people are using now in terms of weapons, I'm not seeing a mass proliferation of mass drivers, ironically. I am seeing a massive return to people using the AR, though, which is a bit of a shame. Again, my views on AR are very clear, but it would be nice to have a few more people using different suits and different gear. I think currently there's still quite too many people using the AR, and I suspect the next step is going to be actually people migrating possibly across to submachine gun. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. I think it's something that, again, it's we'll see how that goes. A couple of people using things like the breach assault rifle now, because obviously that gives a massive kind of impact of damage. It's just sad that again we're seeing the fit of the month dudes not really getting the gun that they have fun with, but just trying to get the gun that they feel that they can win with. And again, it just baffles me why people think it matters, because in this game nothing matters.